not necessarily talking about leadership, but talking about just flat out players. Everybody's been waiting for Zach Harrison to be that guy. And in the opener last season at Minnesota, of course, he came off the edge and made one of those kind of plays that you thought, okay, this guy's arrived. Close game against the Gophers, and he comes up with a huge play to break the game open. Then he only has one other sack the entire season. Between JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer, those guys come in with the billing of, bam, 5-star. These guys are the best of the best, top 5, 10 players in the country, regardless of position. You got to think, and I know maybe too much was expected of those two just arriving on campus. No question about that out of a lot of people last year. But, man, they have the makings of a devastating pass rush.
Yeah, I think the potential is there, definitely. And you'll have Javonte, Baptiste, potentially Tyler Friday will be back in the fall as well. And some other odds and ends guys. Not sure where Noah Potter fits into this. Was out all last season as well, whether he's going to be a tackle or an end for them in the fall. You got a lot of guys, that are just itching to make their mark. And I don't think there'll be pressure on Zach Harrison. Last year there might have been. It's a contract year for him. It's his last year at Ohio State, theoretically. And he came back instead of going to the NFL. And he needs to have a good year. So in some regards, there is a little bit of pressure on him to have a good year. But he doesn't have to feel like he has to be the only guy who can sack the quarterback to start the season, because you have Sawyer and you have Tuimoloau, who are proven commodities, who are starting to come on and really play some great football by the end of last season. So did not having Tyreek Smith around, is that going to hurt? Maybe a little bit, but they'll find other guys. I don't worry about that. And it's becoming a veteran group, obviously, right before our eyes. If you count Sawyer and Tuimoloau now as veterans, second-year players, you've got experienced guys who've been out there with the bullets flying, and they understand now how important it is, even when a team is trying to negate the pass rush by getting rid of the football quickly, how important it is to get your hands up and get in the passing lanes and do everything you can to impact that opposing quarterback. So I am, again, very optimistic, very bullish on those first three, that, maybe the over-under for each of them is 5. And if that's the case, that's pretty good. Maybe they get 6 or 7 sacks. Who knows? But I think the potential is there for each of them in this new defensive scheme, with better coverages downfield and maybe better support from the linebackers and different things like this, that it's going to look and feel a lot better, I think, out of the defensive ends this year.
Jim Knowles isn't afraid to send the house and run that cover zero, and I think there's going to be opportunity for more production points to be out there for the defensive line to get out there and wreak havoc and do some things. You just don't know. This better play by the line makes the secondary look better. Better play by the secondary can make the line look better. It's all interconnected. It's a team game. This is not a game where necessarily one person can go out there and completely change the world. Obviously we've seen game changers named Bosa and Young and guys like that. But if you look at those teams as well, there were a lot of dudes around them. You know what? Bosa's, you have Bosa and there's nobody else there. Put 3 guys on him to block him, and he's not going to be doing what he's doing, and everything's going to be hunky-dory. So, I'll be interested to see what happens with this new scheme, with what these new responsibilities are. You certainly have a grizzled old veteran, and I say that in the most affectionate kind of way, in Larry Johnson, who's the only holdover on defense. How is that going to work with new defensive coaches in Knowles and Eliano and Walton? How is that all going to work? I think that there's going to be a feeling out process, not only from player to coach, but from coach to coach as well. But I think it's fair to have some big expectations.